The justification for sending Lehman to bankruptcy court changed several times as it came out of Hank Paulson and Ben Bernanke's mouth. It started with things like moral hazard, that if we keep rescuing these things, everyone's going to expect to be rescued and that'll be horrible. It went through, well, 6 months have gone since Bear Stearns, so the markets are prepared for a bankruptcy of Lehman. Just look at the CDS spreads and stuff like that. It wound up with, and this is what the Federal Reserve says to this day, and it's true, but I don't think it's a good answer, that we don't have the legal tools to rescue Lehman. This is before TARP. Once TARP passed, they did have the legal tools to rescue Lehman, but there was no such kitty of money that could have been used to save Lehman. I don't accept that because 3 days after the Lehman bankruptcy, Hank Paulson, the Secretary of the Treasury, suddenly discovered the Exchange Stabilization Fund was sitting over there in the corner. This was $50 billion assigned by the Congress to stabilize the value of the dollar when necessary. Otherwise, it just sits there. And all of a sudden, he found this $50 billion and says, oh, I'm going to use that to stop the run on the money funds. It was a good thing to stop the run on the money funds. I'm not critical of that. But that was there when Lehman was going under. So, you know, whether you've got resources in a high government position like that, and the Fed is in the same basket here, depends very much on which lawyer you ask. You know there are some lawyers that are going to say, no, that's illegal. You can't do that. And the Fed is loaded with lawyers like that, by the way. And there are some lawyers going to say, you know, it's probably all right. Who's going to sue you anyway? And that was the attitude at the Treasury on the money funds, but not at the time of Lehman. So I think it was a mistake. What I think was the biggest problem here, and it was really part of your question, I think, is that we, the United States, had set up this precedent with Bear Stearns, followed again in a different way with Fannie and Freddie, of stepping in to make sure these companies didn't go to bankruptcy court in a chaotic way. The market had come to believe that was what was going to happen with Lehman Brothers, and then just like that, the game changes, and financial market participants who thought they were playing baseball, which is, you know, has occasional collisions but not many, discovered they were in a football field. And panic then broke out. So the discrepancy between the treatment of Bear and the treatment of Lehman, I think, was a huge mistake in this. I think if there, to my mind, if there should be an historical debate over what was right and what was wrong, it should be about Bear. That either you were going to draw the line at Bear, but if you didn't do that, we should never have let Lehman collapse the way it did.